Hello, and my name is Ayana Rojas, and I come to you today from Suisun City, California, which is in beautiful Northern California, just in between Sacramento, California and San Francisco, 20 minutes away from Napa Valley. Well, today I bring to you one of my family specialties, which is known as the Cannonball Cream Cheese Creations. And what that is, just imagine this. Kind of like a lasagna, but all wrapped up in a stuffed shell, but making sure that you use cream cheese and a special seasoning as your secret weapon. Now first I'll show you some of the ingredients over here. Make sure that these are some of our bay leaves, which you'll make with the sauce. We have some seasoning salt, tarragon, black pepper, some Italian, and some parsley. Okay? Now right over here, because of TV time's sake, I already have some of our spaghetti sauce, which I use right here. You can either make your fresh spaghetti sauce, you can use jar spaghetti sauce. Ladies, I know a lot of times we don't have time, you want to run home in and out. But today I just chose to use whole tomatoes, and I always add my own seasonings. And over here, we have our meat already browning. Today I chose to use ground beef. You can use either ground turkey or ground chicken, but today I chose to use ground beef. And I also, to add that extra kick of flavor, I also added some Italian sausage. And there you can either use hot or mild. Today we used mild. And over here, remember we're talking about these stuffed shells. So we have over here is our jumbo shells, which are already cooking here in the pot. Our secret weapon, which is up here in the window, our Philadelphia cream cheese, which really sets off the flavor. I can eat that whole block by myself. And over here are our 4 cheeses. We have Romano, mozzarella, I should say 5 cheeses. We have Romano, mozzarella, ricotta cheese, some extra sharp cheddar, and of course our cream cheese, which I already started putting into the bowl for TV time. So let's get started. Let's step back over here. I've already started browning the meat. I combined the ground beef along with the Italian sausage. I added some of my Italian seasoning in here. And then I added some seasoning salt, which I love seasoning salt. Some more Italian seasoning. And just, that takes about just 10 minutes to cook or so. I've already went on ahead and strained it also, but make sure, a lot of times you use a nice lean beef, but sometimes when you use the Italian sausage, it may be a little bit oily, so you'll have to make sure that you strain that out. And over here, we have our whole tomatoes, which are cooking in here, a couple of bay leaves in there, our Italian seasonings, a little bit of seasoning salt in there, and then you'll be ready to go. And of course here, just follow the box directions for your stuffed shells. Now what we're going to do is, as that's cooking, you want to start making your base. And so what that's going to be is I've added in here already the cream cheese. I've added a little bit of extra sharp cheddar cheese. It has to be extra sharp, not just sharp. Okay, some ricotta cheese. And some, let's see here, mozzarella, and some of the Romano cheese. The Romano cheese gives it like a nice pungent flavor, but the cream cheese gives it that creamy texture that we all look for. And also you want to add an egg. An egg kind of brings everything together, so as you're stuffing the shells, you don't have everything falling apart. The cream cheese and the egg will help kind of like work as its, as its agent to keep everything together. So I'll go ahead and crack this. And sometimes I try to use a blender, but you can either whisk it or you can use the fork. It doesn't matter. Ladies, a little bit of elbow grease in here. As I'm doing this, I also want to give a shout out to my husband. He is our cameraman today. His name is Tommy. Say hi, Tommy.
Hi, Tommy.
He is my husband of 17 years. We've been together for 23 years. As a matter of fact, we are junior high school sweethearts. We've been together since the 9th grade at Turtle Hook Junior High School in New York. Can you believe it? All right, back to cooking. Back to cooking here. So this is so simple, ladies. Once you do this, if you're coming home from work and you're exhausted, have the kids stuff the shells. Okay? You bake the base, have the kids stuff the shells. Really, really simple. All you do, everything is mixed up in there, lots and lots of cream cheese. It's going to blend in really nice. And you want to also add, remember I talked about that secret weapon earlier? You also want to add that salad supreme. This gives it, it's so good. It gives it a nice flavor. So what you want to do now is I'm straining out the stuffed shells. You want them to cook only for about 11-13 minutes like I said earlier. Strain those out. Usually I'll run some cold water right on top of them so they won't get mushy. They'll be nice and hard. Okay. And I'll usually pour a little bit of olive oil, or I'll even spray some of the canola oil so they won't stick together while they're in there. So while that's straining out, you want to take your casserole dish. I told you ladies, this is really simple. Extremely. You can make it look like you slaved in the kitchen all day. What you want to do is take some of your sauce, line the bottom of the pan with the sauce. Alrighty, line the bottom of the pan with the sauce just a little bit. And then, alrighty, then you want to call in the family, okay? Whether it's you and your husband, you and your boyfriend, you and the kids. You know, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do all the work. You take your stuffed shells. Alrighty. You take your stuffed shells and didn't add this. The fresh basil. The fresh basil. And I usually, you know, you want to chop it kind of fine. I like my basil kind of big, so I didn't chop them too much, but I didn't add that in here. But you want to add also the basil. Makes it nice and pretty too. And your chopped onions. Made a lot of onions. You don't have to put a whole lot of onions in there, but it gives it a nice crunch. You want to make sure also, ladies and gentlemen, that you preheat your oven to 300 degrees. Okay, 300 degrees, because basically everything is basically cooked before you put it in there. You're just putting it in the oven so everything can kind of blend in all together for the final touches. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these. Now you can either, sometimes I'll blend the meat along with the sauce and do it all at one time, but sometimes I like them separate. So today I'm going to take some of the meat, and then I'll take a spoonful of the tomato sauce and a spoonful of our mixture, just as so. It looks just like that, and then you're going to line it in the pan, just like that. So like I said, you're watching a TV show, you're watching Paula Deen and her sons Bobby and Jamie, whatever you're doing at home, you don't want to put the bay leaf in there. You want to take that, add some of your sauce on the top, sit it right there, and you want to just continue doing that until the whole pan is lined. What I love about it too, sometimes with lasagna, you feel like you're getting a big old chunk, and you feel kind of heavy afterwards after you've eaten it. But with here, you can literally get full off of like 2 or 3 shells. I kid you not. And it feels like you had a whole meal. So a little bit goes a long way. And you just keep on filling these up. To save time, like I said earlier, you can combine the ingredients, these two, and then just add the cheese sauce on top. But today, I'm doing it a little bit differently. Sometimes I like to have the meat separate. But whatever you like. Put a little bit of sauce in there. A little bit of the cheese mixture, and it looks just like that. And you keep on doing that throughout the whole pan. And then at the end, what you're going to do is you're going to take some of your sauce, kind of drape a little bit of sauce on top, and then you're going to take a little bit of mozzarella, put that on top. Then you're going to add some more of that secret weapon I talked about earlier, that salad supreme. Sprinkle a little bit of that on top. Your kids will absolutely love it. Sometimes they'll take one stuffed shell and put the whole thing in their mouth. And then let me show you what it's going to look like, your finished product. It's going to look just like that. Voila! Now one other hint also, what I do, make sure when you use aluminum foil, because you want to make sure that you cover with aluminum foil because you don't want your shells to get hard. So make sure you use the shiny side that goes into the pan, okay? A lot of people don't know that trick. The shiny side goes in and reflects more heat. And you also want to spray it a little bit with some type of canola oil or with some olive oil. That way, if any of the mozzarella does touch the foil, it won't stick. But here you have it, ladies. I guarantee this meal can be done in a matter of, I don't know, I think 20, 25 minutes. It really can be. And it's a family fun dish. You and your kids will love it, just like mine. and I hope you enjoy. You can have this with a nice Caesar salad, some garlic toast, and you are good to go. Just have 2 or 3. You don't want to feel like like you've eaten too much. Then you'll be all set. So I hope you enjoy this meal. Can't wait to hear about it. My name is Ayana Rojas and my husband Thomas Rojas, signing off from Suisun City, California. Enjoy.